Hi, everybody. Hi, everyone. Good evening, and of course, welcome to the after party for the 0 to 1 million graphic designers program. Welcome. It's going to be a beautiful experience. While we are joining in, I want us to immediately go and invite our friends. Share the link on your WhatsApp. Tell them it's the after party with Mr. Tola Alabi, and it's going to be a beautiful experience. So go ahead now and share the link. All right, I'm just giving you a couple of minutes because we're not going to be staying here for you know um for a very long time. All right, this is an after party. Is going to be like full-time implementation, and we'll not be having Tola Labi stay here for a long time. So let's go ahead and invite everyone. Let's invite everyone immediately before we kick off, before Mr. Tola Labi joins us this night. All right, let's do that. Let's do that with the energy. Let's do that, guys. After party is here. I mean, there'll be some songs and all of that. So let's go ahead and invite persons. Okay, let's go ahead and invite more persons to join this call. Go to the group, tell them we are live, we are live. For those who are in the group, we are live. Join us, we are live. Okay, yeah, we are live. Energy upon energy. We know how it was for the 3 days we had with different speakers. Um, we had um, we had um, Chisum, and we had CAV, okay, Chuku Adeze, and today we'll be having Mr. Tola Labi. So let's go ahead and share this. While we are sharing, let me quickly say that in the course of this program, because of the 0 to 1 million graphic designers program, I've gotten a couple of testimonies, a lot of testimonies, persons who have learned a lot, persons who are implementing, persons who have joined, who have connected directly with the speakers we had and are gaining massively from them. Been following up a couple of these guys, and I can say that the energy you guys are dropping is massive. Is massive. All right, is massive, and the feedback I'm getting from you guys, gives me that energy that yes, this graphic designers program was you know, a huge mission, and we've actually said to accomplish the sole purpose for hosting this. All right, and this is something that we are looking at doing over and over and over again. So even after this after party, like I said, this is the after party. We've already had 3 days of 3 days of power packed energy, webinar program with from different speakers. And tonight is with our own big daddy, Mr. Tola Alabi. If you know him, I don't need to do further introduction. He's one of the most respected in the creative industry, not just the design industry, in the creative industry here in Nigeria and Africa. All right. And tonight we are going to be drinking from him. He's here with us and ready to join in tonight's experience and share massive value with us. So if you are ready, okay, meanwhile while this call is going on, you can start preparing your questions. If you have any questions for the super experienced daddy, all right, who has been in this game for a very long time, more than a lot of creatives out there, package your questions because he'll be answering a couple of them before our time is up. All right, so let me quickly add him to the call so we move on. Keep inviting your friends. Daddy, good evening.
Hey Dan, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. We can all hear you loud and clear.
All right, good evening. I'm going to turn on my camera very soon. Just give me a minute.
Okay, no problem, no problem. So, guys, keep inviting everybody, keep inviting your friends. Let's get the number up. All right, let's get the number up, guys. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be a beautiful experience. I mean, tonight's session is going to be quite interactive, and I'm always hyped to listen to the story of creative persons or persons who have been in this game way longer than I myself and a lot of persons, and learn from their experience. Okay, for me right now, it's not just about just sharing all of those values that we see on Google and all of that. Is the fulfillment or the where the main lesson lies in listening and also sharing the personal experience that these persons have, okay, sharing to everyone out there, and that is where the major lessons lie. Okay, so I want you to pay close attention in tonight's session and prepare your questions for tonight. I believe we are ready. All right. Wow. So Jesus Christ, I'm a bit nervous, but wow, that good evening. Is good to be on this after party session, this live session with you here on YouTube. And I'm super opportuned and super grateful that you brought out your time to spend with us tonight. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. It's good to be here. Thanks for inviting me. Thanks for having me. Hope you can. Oh, hope you can hear me clearly though.
Yes, yes, loud
All
and
right, all
clear.
right.
We can all hear you. We can all hear. Meanwhile, if you can hear him from your end, guys, I want you to drop in the chat session that you can hear him, so we still get the feedback from you guys. If you can hear him loud and clear. All right. So very quickly, we will just be going in since we already 10 minutes into our time. All right. So first, Daddy, I want you to do a brief introduction. Okay. Let's get to hear that line of, this is who I am, again and again. I've heard it a lot of times and I'm still always ready to hear it again. So a little introduction from you, sir, before we carry on with tonight's session.
Okay. My name is Tola Alabi. Um, um, I'm a teacher. I consider myself a teacher. I started out doing graphic design. Um, and I specialized for a long time in what people call identity design. So I did a lot of logo designs for a good number of years. But now I teach about the business of design, and I teach about basically how business relates to life in general. So I'm a teacher, I'm a coach, I'm a mentor, and I am a designer.
Okay, wow. All right. So, guys, we all heard that, a teacher and a mentor. And I can say for a fact that listening to his podcast alone has helped me grow in a lot of ways. A lot of ways. This podcast on Spotify, I highly recommend. If you don't know about the Pro Up Masterclass podcast on Spotify, please make sure you get yourself in there and make sure you don't miss any of the podcast sessions he drops on Spotify. Thank you very much, sir, once again for coming. So very quickly, let's start with the story. That story, I always love listening to that beginning story. How did you start out, and how did you become who you are from the beginning? How did the process go for you?
Well, starting out design, um, I've always been um, art inclined from very young. So I've always had an interest in drawing and basically drawing. Um,
Yeah.
that was the earliest form of design for me. Was just drawing characters I used to watch on TV and just um, making comics and reading comics and stuff like that. So it started, I knew that I had an interest in art very early. I knew that it was what I enjoyed doing. I knew that was where my talent lay. So it was not hard for me to discover what I like to do. The only thing is that when at that point, growing up, there was no career that I could I didn't know any graphic designers. I didn't know any creatives. Then, if you like to draw, it was a habit. You understand? It was meant to be like a hobby or a pastime, something you do to pass time. It wasn't a career that you commit yourself to. Um, so I went through school looking for myself, even though I had found myself. But I don't think the society was kind of ready for people like me then. And then this was in the 1980s, all through to the early 90s. It wasn't, there was no expression of design. So I kind of struggled in school because there was nowhere to really put, there was nowhere to put someone like a student like me. If you didn't want to be a doctor or a lawyer or an engineer, you had to be you have to fall into one of those very narrow career paths. Um, so school was very exciting for me because I didn't know where I was going to, and that's how it was for me from primary school to secondary school to university. And I think up until university, that's when I found graphic design. I met someone who was a friend of mine who had installed Corel Draw on his system and he was working on Corel Draw. And that was the first time I saw someone designing, and that was the first interest I had in graphic design. And I got to know more about it. And as chance will have it, a school came from Canada to try to recruit students then, and I had the opportunity to apply for a postgraduate course in graphic design then because at that time I'd already studied architecture, and so I wasn't willing to go back to university again to go and study graphic design from 100 level again. But they told me if I studied architecture, I can go and have a postgraduate in graphic design, and that's what I did, and that's how I got into graphic design. I did a 1 year postgraduate program in Canada and then came back to Nigeria and set up my company and started working from there. And I think this is like the 18th or the 19th year I've been working as a graphic designer. So that's the story, basically, pretty much in a nutshell.
6
So
plus.
okay, yeah.
Wow, thank you very much for sharing that story with us. So very quickly, I'm going to probably ask like 3 questions, so you can just answer them straight up, and we'll just take that energy from there. First is, I definitely that I want to hear that story of how you made your first 1 million in the design space, because the major team or the main team of this program is, like you already know, the 0 to 1 million graphic designers program. and is like a major issue for especially designers or creatives in Nigeria and Africa to find a way to navigate, that slim, or that narrow way that the clients or the audience has put up, the market has put up for them, that makes it difficult for them to really scale as a designer or as a creative. So, how did you move from 0 to 1 million, and then how did you sustain it? How did you sustain it? Because it's one thing to get to that point, I believe, is another thing to sustain it. What did you do? Were you all money inclined? What was the beginning goal for you? Did you start out with, I want to make money from this, I want to be rich from being a designer? How did you move from 0 to 1 million, and how did you sustain it? And also the third question, what are the major difficulties and the major challenges or roadblocks that you faced, and you also, the major objections that you experienced and you learned from, and how did you counter them, or how did you solve those major roadblocks or objections? These are the three questions. Did you get it, sir?
Yeah, I got your question, and
Okay.
and those are good questions. Um, you know, to be very honest with you, Daniel, um, when you invited me for this program, it has been a while. It's been a while. It was like over a month ago, and you asked me to. I was meant to speak earlier on when you wanted to have some other people speak. I told you I wasn't going to be
Yeah.
chanced, and I took some time thinking. I think the first thing I noticed about the program was the name 0 to 1 million, and it kind of concerned me. It concerned me a bit because for people that know me personally, I I'm not very very keen on dangling the carrot of rewarding financial remuneration as a designer.
Mm,
I don't like to start the conversation about design with that. How did you make the first 1 million? It's a good question. I must say, I'm not criticizing your question. It's a good question. However, for me, I realize it's a distracting question, and it creates more problems than solutions. And this is where I realize that there's a difference between designers in my day and the designers that are people that go into this design industry today. There's a big difference. And the big difference is in my day, which was almost 20 years ago, we went into design because we were fascinated by it. Do you understand? We were fascinated by the process of design. We were fascinated by the results. We were fascinated by the impact, and we wanted to be part of it. I didn't spend a lot of my early days thinking about how to make the first million. To be honest with you, I didn't spend a lot of time thinking about how to make the first million. I didn't. I still don't spend a lot of time thinking about how to make millions from design. And this way, as I answered your question, I want people to have it at the back of your mind, of their mind, that this money thing is a byproduct of commitment, is a byproduct of dedication, is a byproduct of empathy for your clients, is a byproduct of professionalism. The money will come. You see, I'll be very honest with you. I never made 1 million naira from doing graphic design. From clicking, like if I was talking about creating a logo, creating a website, what else did I used to do then? Brochure or stuff. I never made 1 million naira from any project. Never. Never ever made 1 million naira. My first 1 million naira was not from doing graphic design. It was from actually teaching design. You understand? My first ever um, alert that I got, I said, "Oh yeah, they're paying me 1 million." It wasn't for doing. It wasn't. It came many years after I'd committed to doing. design. And if I had gotten discouraged, because I, I think I'd been doing design for up to 15 years, 15 or 16 years before I ever made 1 million from it. As in, I'm talking about 1 million in terms of my payment for the job. It was 15 years. And if I wasn't patient, I would have given up and I would have never ever made it. Now, after that, I've made it, you understand, numerous times, but it took 15 years. It took 15 years. You understand? But I didn't even notice. I didn't notice because those 15 years, those 15 to 16 years, was me doing what I really enjoyed doing. It wasn't about the remuneration. So I've been working in design for 15 years, and then I started something, my YouTube channel called Pro Masterclass. And I started Pro Masterclass because I wanted to help designers. I wanted to create content, just like you are doing what you are doing right now, creating this content to help people. Um, I'm sure you're not doing it because you want to earn money. It might be, well, I want to assume, you understand, that that will not be at the fore of your mind. But when I started Pro Masterclass, it wasn't about making money. It wasn't about making money. But yeah, there was the, oh, I hope my channel will blow so that YouTube will pay me. But it wasn't my driving force. And the first ever 1 million naira I made was somebody who just saw me and told me they were watching my YouTube channel. And they said, I've been watching your YouTube channel. And at that time, I didn't have up to 10 videos on it. I didn't have up to 10. Maybe I had about six or so. And the person said, I've been watching it and I like what you're talking about. And I want you to come and train us in our organization about this branding and design thing. And that was the first time ever that anyone paid me 1 million naira. After I did it, someone else who attended that training, called me again and said, I want you to come and train us. And they called more people and they paid me again. You understand? And this was just 2 days work. 2 days work. It wasn't like a week, it wasn't back and forth. They paid me everything up front. What I'm getting to is I didn't hustle for it. I wasn't trying to make 1 million. I was just doing what I love to do. And someone saw me putting all my energy and all my passion into it, and they put the value on it themselves. And they said, we are going to, in fact, I sent my quote initially, and the person sent back my quote and said it was too cheap. I said, you know what, let's pay you 500 per day to do this thing. And that was the first time that happened. And so, what I'm getting to is 0 to 1 million. There's no strategy per se to it. There is no, this is how Mr. Tola did it, this is how I ought to do it. Put your work out there, hang around with some people, make sure you are selling your work on social media, make sure you are going for tech meetups and stuff like that. I tried all these things before in the past. They didn't really help me. They didn't really do much for me. I just want to say it came about by really committing to what I really wanted to do in my soul, what I really enjoyed doing, what I could pour myself into. When you do it, when you do your work that way, you would attract the kind of clients, the kind of remuneration, the kind of reward that you desire, even beyond that. But a lot of people, you see, the the job sphere has gotten corrupt nowadays. So it's it's a it brings me to answer this your question of challenges. You see, the biggest challenge I had starting out was that being patient. Being patient to know that I'll be all right financially. I meet a lot of designers that keep reaching out to me and telling me I'm tired of this design industry. I'm tired of being a designer. I'm not making enough money. Um, I have a lot of financial responsibility. I'm not making. You see, And I asked this person, how long have you been designing? And a lot of them say, I've been designing for 2 years, for 1 year, for 6 months. I'm like, you're still in the very early stages. You understand? Yes, it's very early stage of design at that point in time. The biggest problem I had was the biggest problem they are having right now is that problem of patience, being patient enough to say, um, I'm in this thing for the long run, and I will keep doing it, even if I'm not getting the remuneration I want to be getting at this point in time. That patience is the biggest challenge, and that was my biggest challenge as a designer. I wanted to prove myself very early. I wanted to prove myself to my parents because as Africans, we have this societal um, we have this societal pressure we carry, whereby as you are now, Danny, you are thinking of, you know, I don't know how old you are, Danny, but I've met people that are like 21 and stuff like that, and they are sending their younger brothers to school. People that just started working and they're already saying, oh man, I need to be sending money back home. So there's already a lot of societal pressure, you understand, on a young person. So you can't even express your talent to a place where you're enjoying it. You already think, man, I can't stay in this design field if I can't be sending 50K to my parents every day, every month. I can't stay in this design field because I need to be sending school fees to my brother or to my younger sibling. And that's where people give up on a career that could be promising because they wanted to start earning very early. That's that was my biggest challenge because I wanted to prove to my parents very early that I was in a successful career. But to be honest with you, when I compare myself to, I have two sisters. I'm the only guy. When I compare myself to my sisters, they are doing better than me financially. That's the truth. I have an older sister, I have a younger sister. They're doing better. They're earning more per month than me, but they are both employees. They both work in organizations where they are being paid a salary. Now, when it comes to um, taking care of my parents, they are able to to commit more financially. You understand? So, in my parents' eyes, if they were to look at it, they'll say, "Oh, our daughters are able to they are able to prove that they are successful more than Tola can." But you see, if I were an insecure person, it would be a burden to me because I'll be like, I need to match up, I need to match up, I need to match up. But then I'll be forgetting that we are on different lines. They are on the employee train. I'm on the entrepreneurial train. The entrepreneurial train takes longer. It takes longer to come to fruition. Unlike if you're an employee. So if you're an employee, all you need to is get a job, like you get a job, you agree a salary, and they start paying that salary, whether it's 500K per month, 600K per month, 1M per month. And an entrepreneur that starts the same day you start your job, at the end of the first month, might not have made his might not have made his first one naira. At the end of the sixth month, might not have made his first 100K. At the end of just 6 months, you've already made, if you're making 1 million per month, you made 6 million already. You see? But the difference is that it's accumulatively that it makes a difference. Because the employee route tapers down as you go. So after 6 years, you are getting ready, you are getting closer to your retirement. The entrepreneur that stays within 6 years is getting stronger because he's building his brand. More people are knowing him, getting more clients. So in the end, the entrepreneur might make more money than their employee. But you see, a lot of graphic designers right now they want to be entrepreneurial, but they want to start earning like employees. So they want to start making that 1 million very, very early. So it's patience. Patience is the biggest um, distraction that people have, a lack of patience. So they want to start making a lot of money very early because they want to prove within their associations or within their family that they are doing well. And if that's what you want to do, then I would just advise that people take design from, not from an entrepreneurial path. You understand? So just apply within a company to be a designer and let them pay you. You understand? So for me, getting making my first million was me having to wait for 15 years. Biggest challenge was having to wait. You understand? Being able to wait without quitting. Um, that's still the challenge I'm still having right now. Is that seeing other people that are your age mates that are not that are that have stable jobs and stable salaries, and then you are able to wait and just say, I'm not comparing myself to them. You understand? I'm not comparing my progress. I'm not comparing my car. I'm not comparing my house. I'm not comparing my income. I'm not comparing all those things to them. If you can overcome that patience, that distraction of being patient, of being impatient, then
Yeah.
that 0 to 100 path will be cut down very, very easily. You stop counting how many years it take you to go from 0 to 1 million, and you just realize that after a period of time, you start earning those millions that you actually desire to earn.
Wow. Wow. Hmm. Um, wow. This is a serious mind shift, guys. This is a serious mind shift. And first, I want to highlight that I believe that this is one of the major issues that a lot of creatives, especially in Nigeria, like you mentioned, are going through. Right? In fact, not just in the creative space, generally, every young person, every young Nigerian right now wants to, find a way to be financially free, make so much money that the major goal now becomes I want to make my mom proud, probably send something back and all of that. And it has made a lot of persons begin to take the wrong, begin to see life or skills generally in different forms, and they begin to navigate that path with the wrong motive. All right, and this is something that I always try to mention to any person at all that I'm having this conversation with, that if you are coming into the business with that money mindset, is going to limit you so much that you will get tired very fast. Like you will just get exhausted very fast, and the next thing you begin to say is, okay, this one is not working out, what am I going to try out again? Because this particular thing happened to me when I just started out. I mean, I was just in SS2 years back, okay, and I was just really into wanting to make money at that young age. I want to retire very young and rich and all of that. And I tried the first, in fact, design was one of the first things I tried. I was doing it as a hobby, like I really loved it back in the day. All right, but then I wanted to try it. It did not work, and I was like, okay, this is not working. No, in just a couple of weeks, so it wasn't even up to a month. I tried something
Mm,
else. I tried something else. I tried something else, from network marketing to affiliate marketing, from this affiliate marketing platform to this one. So I learned a lot of skills in just a space of 1 year. I did a lot of things, and even at that same point, I was trying to build multiple streams of income at the same time, when I didn't even have like a structured and strong one, just one that was giving me a steady cash flow. And with all of that in mind, I got tired very fast. And I was like,
mm,
what again do I want to do? What else? I've tried all of these things. What do I have to do? And it made me now go back to my drawing board and begin to look at what I was doing wrong. I had to take a lot of time to look at what I've been doing for the past 1 2 years, and see that this is not actually it. That was how I got into sales full time. I started
mm,
doing a little study on mindset and psychology and all of that. And I came to understand that if you can take out time to build this one thing over time, you are doing it not because you want to make money out of it, but because you are enjoying the process and the fulfillment. Okay, and I'll tell you that the joy and the fulfillment is not actually in that point where you've made those millions and all of that. It's in that process of you moving from that point to that other point. That one is like a byproduct of that process you have gone through in the course of those months and those years. All right. So
mm,
hitting that point where you want to be making all of the millions, you have to be ready to give. Okay. And a lot of I'll still see a lot of designers and creators do that thing of, okay, come when you join this graphic design training and pay, this is what you are going to get. If you don't join, they are kind of hoarding value and information. And I'll tell them again and again that people will not really pay because they think you have that, in quotes, very valuable information. They will pay because you've already given them that valuable information. Just that they just enjoy the valuable information that you gave them and they want to get in. All right, they just want to get really close, and that is why they
mm,
will even take the, in quotes, master class and all of that. So
mm,
I really really am in saying what you said, and I believe that every person on this call should really pay attention to this. Okay,
mm.
this
And there's
night,
something
like
you
I told you
said.
guys. Yes, yes, yes.
There's something you said. So I just don't forget. You said something just
Yeah.
now. Um, you see, a lot of people over the years, and I mean, I'm talking about over the years now, over the
Mm.
last 50 years, 50 years, have lost their path because of certain industries um, in Nigeria. Um, and I'll just try to give you a what I see as where people started losing their way. Because if you look at Nigerian culture, the Nigerian society today, you realize that a lot of people are not doing what they want to be doing with their lives. A lot of people are not doing what they want to be doing. And when you're not doing what you want to be doing with your life, you become a conflicted person. And when you're a conflicted person, you become an angry person. And when you're an angry person, you become a menace. I
Yeah.
don't know if you've ever watched there's a series right now on Netflix that I'm watching. I'm just going to finish watching it tonight. It's called Beef. B
No, no.
double E F. Beef. It's called Beef. It's very
Yeah.
recent. It has 10 episodes and it talks about two. It chronicles like the life of two people, a man and a woman, that kind of met each other in a parking lot, and they met each other on a very bad day when they were both having a bad day, and they started on this course, this collision course of trying to get back at each other, whereby their life is spiraling out. Now, as I'm watching that thing, they are both very unhappy people. They both if anybody ever watched that series, watch it. They are both very unhappy, and they are unhappy because they are both doing things they don't want to do with their lives. And you see, there are a lot of people, even on this call, doing stuff they don't want to do with their life. It's causing a lot of unhappiness, causing a lot of depression, causing a lot of anger, causing a lot of suicides in Nigeria. And this is where it started from. In Nigeria, people used to do their jobs happily before. People used to actually try to look for their passion and follow their passion and do their work well. But people are not doing that anymore. So you see that
Yeah.
today I was meant to get I was meant to get um, a cloth delivered to me by my tailor. He never came. He told me we're going to be ready today. He's not ready. He might not be ready for the next 2 months. You understand? A plumber was meant to come and work in my house. He didn't come. You understand? So you see people doing
Mhm.
their work in a way whereby they don't really love their work. Because you
Yeah.
see, people don't know what it is to do what they love anymore. So in the early 70s, 80s, you understand, to the 90s, there was what they call the boom of the oil industry, oil and gas industry, boomed a lot. So a lot of foreign companies like Mobil, Shell, what's the name? What's the name of this other Chevron? A lot of them came to Nigeria, and they were paying incredible amounts of money. And you see, people had never seen organizations pay that kind of money before. So you know what
Mm-hmm.
happened? The person that wanted to be a medical doctor just hung that dream of being a medical doctor and just started looking at geology and petrochemical engineering. You understand? That's where it started from. Those guys came in with so much money to pay people. And you see, some people sold their dreams from 1970. You understand? That person that wanted to be a singer just realized I can't. If they are paying people 500K a month, that's what I want to do. So they went to go and study some form of petrochemical engineering, geology, stuff like that. A lot of people entered that field,
Mm-hmm.
and that was the first time people started selling their passions and selling their souls to start doing things they don't actually love. And then in the early 2000s, it happened again where the banking industry just opened up. Just opened up. For some reason, banks just started springing up and they started giving license to a lot of people to open banks. And banks started paying a lot of money to people. So Teller was receiving more than somebody that was level 14 in civil service. And then people are saying, you know what, I want to study accounting. I want to study banking and finance. I want to study this. The guy that wanted to study architecture just left and went to bank immediately. And that's where people started giving up their dreams again in that place again. So you see a lot of people in all these industries, just watch it out. Go to the oil and gas, you see a lot of unfulfilled people there. Go to banking, you see a lot of unfulfilled people there. Go to telecoms. Telecoms now came again. Telecoms came, them MTN, Glow, Airtel, they came to and put a lot of money into the system, started paying ridiculously high salary. And you realize that people now started saying they want to work in what do you call it, customer service in Airtel and stuff like that, gave up their dreams and started working in telecoms. Now it has shifted because now all those other industries have kind of gone out of the way. Now it is um, financial industry where you have people doing forex, crypto.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's real estate has started entering into it. If you look at the design industry, the tech industry where you
Yeah.
can kind of say
Yeah.
when you look at tech, you look at people that
Yeah.
startups saying that, oh, I want to work as a UX designer. I want to work with Flutterwave. I want to work with, you see, and that's where you realize that people start mortgaging what they really want to do for what they really want to earn. But it always
Mm-hmm.
comes back. It always comes back to you at the end of the day. It always comes back to haunt you. It will always come back to haunt you because the truth is,
Yeah.
after you've made the money, you lack fulfillment. And when you lack
Yeah.
fulfillment, you become conflicted. When you become conflicted, you become angry. When you become angry, you become a menace. And that's when you become someone that starts beating their wives, beating their kids, committing all manner of crimes. And that's the biggest issue. So, 1 minute.
Wow. 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 This night is coming from a whole new angle that I know that nobody ever expected to come from. I can see the comments, the persons dropping, their comments in the chat session. They never saw this from this angle and all of that. And I'm really glad about this, that this after party that I still went ahead to believe God, and of course it happened, and that it made that I made himself available to be here wasn't just a mistake. So, and I believe that everybody out there, you guys are picking out something, because the journey is still very, very far. This is what something I keep telling myself, that I'm just 6 years into this. I've seen persons who are, like you now, that they are 16 plus or so, getting to 20. I've seen 25. The other time, weeks back, I was looking at Matty, the guy that, the man that wrote the brand flip, and he has been in the industry for years, and listening to his perspective of design, branding, and all of this just gave me a whole new idea of this thing, from a very long, lasting experience and knowledge, not just working with the contemporary times, because now a lot of things have been sugar coated, and A lot of things have been tampered with. All right, and it's still something I'm looking at. I'm ready to, like, I told myself this is something I'm going to run lifetime. Okay, from building this thing to this thing to this thing, and I'll just be patient with the whole process and enjoy it, because that is where the experience and the fun is. That's where it lies. All right, so very quick, we've already stayed 45 minutes in this call. I want to say very quick that if you have any question, we probably I believe you might be able to just take one. But I myself personally, I have one question I want to ask that I believe that persons here will still benefit from, apart from the couple of things we've looked at tonight. Okay, but before I ask that question, meanwhile, if you have any question, just drop it. Maybe probably one or two, whatever number that you'll be available to answer, because I'm looking at the time. Okay, but let me quickly say that if you are not following up with the Spotify podcast, please make sure you do that after this session, because there are a lot of things there that you still learn from. I know that everybody on this call, and even persons who will be watching after this call, that you will be really fulfilled and you'll be really happy that you watch this video. So if you want to keep enjoying this massive wisdom and value from Daddy TA, then head over to Spotify and follow him across every of his platform. Okay, every of the social media accounts. Make sure you do that. So down to my question, please. All right, so I'll make it very very brief. The question very very fast and smart, so that we can take maybe one or two before we end the session for tonight. Probably another time we'll do this again. So I'm currently in that, okay, or I've been currently in that phase of my journey that I I have this whole project, or this whole big product, let me say product, that I want to build in the design space. Coming to the design space, I have been I've been super inclined, or I've been more interested in the scaling part of design than the design itself. Let me explain. Okay, working with the major problem that we've had in Nigeria, persons, who are still trying to push through with their skill and all. I've I've done more of studying sales when it comes to the design industry than really studying creativity per se. Not like I'm not looking at the creative part, but I've really invested more time in the sales part than the creative part of design. And I think this is what has really helped me to navigate better in the short while I've been in the design or in the creative space. Okay, so now I have this bigger idea, of this bigger vision or project or product, whichever you we want to take it as, that I am building. Okay, and it is going to involve me, building on a bigger scale. On a bigger scale, I mean, is building a bigger network, a bigger team, and a bigger structure, which will really be demanding in, per se. Right now, I have about 5 to 10 persons working with me in the AMD Studios, which is my design agency. All right. So now the question is, looking at the big, project I have in mind, projected into the future, that I'm trying to actualize from this moment. How would you advise, especially with the fact that I am focusing on giving out and enjoying the process, that fulfillment? Okay, how do I actualize that when I know it is financially demanding? Okay, and I know that this is not something I can pull off at this time. How do you suggest that I carry that, I make my moves towards that particular idea of blueprint? Probably after this call, I'll come and I will give more details. But how do you think, having this big idea in mind, how do I actualize it when I don't have a big financial structure to pull me through to that level? Yes, that's the question. I don't know if you got the question, sir. Your mic is muted in case you are not aware, sir.
Okay, all right, thanks. All right. So I got your question, and you see, there are two things in life. in terms of fulfillment. Two things that bring about fulfillment. There is the actualization of a dream. There's the dream, and there's what I call the assignment. Those are two things that fulfill us, the dream and the assignment. The problem is that a lot of us are very focused on the dream. So we have dreams and we
Mm-hmm.
focus on the dream. So I'll put it this way: the dream is to be a medical doctor. You have a 6-year-old boy who dreams to be a medical doctor who has a big hospital and takes care of a lot of people. So that's his dream, to be a medical doctor, successful surgeon. But that dream is so far away and so big because the 6-year-old boy has not the capacity, whether the financial, physical, mental, emotional capacity to actualize that dream. The gap between where he is and the dream is always very large. So there's always the dream. If you focus on the dream, it's very easy to get discouraged because the dream is always far. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yes.
where you need the assignment. The dream is always long term, the assignment is always short term. But a lot of people are not assignment minded, they're always dream minded. So they're always frustrated because the dream is so far and it's so big and it's so unattainable. Now, the assignment is that thing you do, that small thing you do every single day that leads you towards the actualization of your dream.
Amen.
The assignment is probably the most important thing people should do every day. But people wake up every day dreaming. That's the problem. People wake up every day dreaming instead of waking up every day doing. You understand? And that's the difference between people that achieve stuff and people that don't achieve stuff. People keep on dreaming and say, I wish I have this dream. How will it come? Then what they start to look for is for people to assist them to get to the dream. That's very, very hard. In fact, it puts you in a compromising position where you start to have to beg people. What you look for every day, you don't look for people to help you your dream. You look for people to serve with your assignment. The people you serve with your assignment are the people that will help you to get to your dream. But a lot of people don't want to serve anybody with their assignment. They just want someone to help them with their dream. So they get in compromising position where they start begging and asking people for money, asking people to assist them with their talent and stuff. You don't need that. You just need to serve people on a daily. And those people now come back. So I'll put it this way. You see, for me, my dream, my own dream, like you have a dream right now, you want to set up this platform that is going to be so financially draining. You understand? You're going to take a lot of financial commitment. How can you do it now? You don't have the money. Are you going to go to a bank to loan? I won't advise you to do that because you now start out taking stress upon yourself. What you need to do, Danny, every day, and this is where I will bring in the God factor there because I don't know how to advise people and not bring in God. So you have to forgive me. This is what I will say, Danny. Every day you wake up, stop thinking
Mm-hmm.
about how you are going to achieve this grand plan that is so beautiful. What you wake up every morning doing is ask yourself, God, what do you want me to do today? And what God wants you to do today might be something very small. It might be like if you're even connected to your assignment, to your dream. It might be, God might tell you, Danny, I want you to record content about how to, one small thing. I'm like, man, but that's not really what I want to do. So you see, that's not way you don't question what you want to do. Do that thing that you're meant to do for the day
Yeah.
and do the next thing I'm meant
Yeah.
to do for tomorrow and do the next thing. And you'll now realize that after a while, a team will start building. A team will start building for you and start saying,
Mm-hmm.
Danny, you know what? What can I do for you? Because this content you put last week really helped me. What can I do for you, Danny? You'll be surprised. Last
Yeah.
month, someone called me last month. Someone called me last month and he said he wants to meet with me. And I was so busy, but I was able to squeeze out one day to meet with him. And when I met with him, he told me something that nobody has ever told me before. He said, Satola, I've been reading all you've been putting up on Twitter, all this stuff you've been writing. And I just feel I want to help you one way or the other. Do you have any project you are doing right now? I want to finance whatever project. I just I feel I have money right now and I want to finance this project, whatever project. I just feel I just want to help you with whatever project. You see,
Yeah.
I had
Yeah.
projects in my mind that were way bigger than me. I didn't have the money for it. But every time I wake up, I say, God, what do you want me to do? And God will tell me, write this thing on Twitter. I'm like, how does that help me to do this project now? Writing stuff on Twitter. You understand? That will encourage them, but it doesn't help me. But I did it. I did it
Yeah.
for a whole year. And one guy was looking at his WhatsApp every single day, looking at what I was putting up on my status. And one day he just said, you know what? I just want to help this Tola with something that he's doing. And he came to me and just said, whatever financial assistance you need, I'm ready to help you. I want to help you. That came from me consistently doing my assignment. So what I'll tell you, Daniel, is you have a dream, but with the dream always comes an assignment. So you need to think,
Mm-hmm.
what is my assignment? What are those things I need to be doing every single day? As I focus on my assignment, whenever I put up my head to look up, my dream will be getting closer. But a lot of people focus on their
Yeah.
dream and never look down at their assignment. Then the dream is always far. You understand what I'm saying? So forget about
Yeah.
you have the dream already. Just put it to one side. Just say, okay, I have this dream. I can't make it happen. What do I need to be doing every single day to get this dream to happen? And that's when you realize all these small things, this program that you are doing, this what you are doing right now. You don't even know the use of what you are doing right now, Danny. By
Mm-hmm.
calling
Mm-hmm.
me and other people to talk, you just feel you're helping people. You don't know you're helping yourself. You understand? Because somebody on this platform will say, Danny, you had this thing 2 years ago where you called Mr. Tola, you called Cav, you called this person. You might not even remember. You'll be like, yeah, I can't remember. But you helped me that day. And because you helped me, I want to help you right now. And that help for your dream will
Mm-hmm.
come. You understand what I'm saying? There was a
Yes.
time I wanted to scale up my business and I wanted to hire people. But I didn't know you see, the problem with design is sometimes some people will put up their portfolio. You don't know which one is real work, which one is work they want to go and copy from people. So I was looking for a good designer. And at that time, I'd been doing Pro Masterclass, my videos for a while. So I was like, I don't know how to gather a good team of people. Do you know what happened? There was a guy, his name is Steven. He's still in my mentoring group today. He just reached out to me and just said, Sir, I want to work with you. I want to work with you.
Wow.
I want to intern with you. And he was like, pay me whatever you want to pay me. But I want to intern. I'm not concerned about the money right now because I've been listening to your stuff. You see, I didn't know he was
Yeah.
listening. But when I needed a team, he was the first person that came. And the
That's
level of
really
work this
okay.
guy did for me really helped me. You understand? So I didn't go
Yeah.
out to try to
Yeah.
start saying, I need the best designer. I'm willing to pay 100,000. I'm willing to pay 200,000.
Mm-hmm.
No, I got someone to say, I
Yeah.
will do it for you. You understand? Because I was faithful with the assignment I had to do every day, which was recording
Mm-hmm.
content. And the guy was like, this guy has helped me so much with his content. I want to see how to help him. So it's doing the assignment that will help you with this dream that you want to do, this dream that you have that is so big, that is going to take so much capital, so much human resource. Don't worry. You just wake up every morning thinking, what's my assignment for today? And do it. And then you realize that after a while, you realize that that thing that you feel is going to take so much money, the money will just be presented to you. The labor, the manpower,
Yeah.
the wherewithal will just be presented to you. You won't need to hustle
Yeah.
for it. That's how it happens. So you must do the assignment. The assignment brings about the fulfillment of the dream.
Wow. Wow. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir, for answering that. So thank you for this answer. It has really helped. All right. So very quickly, I don't know if you see have time. I have just two questions here, or will you have time
Uh,
to take one, or do we push it to
okay,
till
okay.
another
Let's start
time?
with one. Let's start with one if you can. It's just 9 o'clock. I think I can rush through the two.
Okay. Let me just drop the two questions and then Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. I'm sorry, my other device just
All right, yeah, no problem.
just
Thanks.
went blank. Oh, all right. So the two questions are: what is something you wish you knew before you enter into the creative and design space? Then the second question is: as a young creative with the idea of starting his own company, what would be your advice on how to achieve this, sir? You got the two questions, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, what is
Okay.
something I wish I knew before I entered into the creative design space? Something I wish I
Yes.
knew. Um, I wish there are not too many things I wish I knew, to be honest with you. But I'm trying to think if there's something I really wish I knew before entering into. Okay, yeah. This is a very interesting one. Yeah. I wish. You see, this morning I was going through my emails from 20 2007, and I got so many emails from people then that were telling me, "Sir, can you train me? Can you train me? Can you train me? I'm willing to learn design." I just got back to Nigeria then from Canada. I know people were saying, "Can you train me? Can you train me? Can you train me?" And I remember, and I was reading my reply to them, and most of them I was telling them, um, "I don't have time to train right now. I'm too busy doing client work. I'm too busy starting my company. I'm too busy establishing my company." I turned down 100% of them. I wanted to say 90%, but I didn't take anybody on. I never started training till very recently, and that was a big mistake because I always thought to myself that I will train when at the end of my career. That was a mistake. I didn't realize that training is something you do as you go. You start training when people start reaching out to you to say, "I like your work. Can you train me?" A lot of times we undervalue our own knowledge, um, our own knowledge bank. You understand? So we always think, what do I know about Photoshop? When Mr. Tola is there, you guys asking me to train. Should go and train with Mr. Tola. So then I was referring them to other people because I thought, what do I know? Number one, I was thinking, what do I know? Number two, I was thinking, man, I need to start making money now. So I prioritize client work over capacity building. That was a big problem. And I realized that if I started doing capacity building then, in fact, I would have made more money from design. I would have had more influence. I would have, even the clients would have heard about me without me trying to market to them. It's the people that I'm training that will go to their clients and say, man, this is my boss somewhere, or he's the one that taught me, or he'll do a good job for you. All the clients that I was trying to entice myself, doing pitch myself, pricing myself, I wouldn't have done it. It would have been someone that I trained that would have said, "No, don't just argue with this my Oga. He's good, but he will charge you." But then I was turning people down, and I didn't take note of that sign of, look, they're already saying, people are already saying they like your work. As long as people are saying they like your work, it's time for it means that there's something you can give them. So for somebody here right now, someone might be reaching out to you just saying, "Man, I want you to teach me um, something about design that seems pretty basic." Take it, teach them. Don't think there's any knowledge that is too small to start a foundation of teaching from, even if it's Microsoft Word. You understand? Teach them. Even if it's just the tools in Adobe Illustrator, Adobe Photoshop, just teach them, this is brush tool, this is eraser tool, this is pen tool. You know, a lot of times we want to teach when we have all the knowledge, but we never have all the knowledge. So I wish I had taken up the capacity of teacher much earlier because I realized the more you teach, the more you know. So if I had done that would have really had massive impact on my career even till now. The second question, you say, my question is, as a young creative, what is the idea with the idea of starting my own company, what would be my advice on how to achieve this? So if you're starting your own company, um, I think I have a couple of advice for you. One is that you should um, know that if you're starting a company, you are the leader. Sacrifice. I think not too many people are sacrificial, and that's why working with some startups can be hell because the leader is not sacrificial. So if you are willing to sacrifice, you must learn the spirit of being sacrificial. And what that means, where being sacrificial starts from is you might start a company where you are the only one. You are the designer, you are the accountant, you are the everything in the company. You are the CEO, you are everything. Most small businesses start that way. The problem is that most small businesses stay that way, and that's a problem. Don't stay that way. Um, intentionally, intentionally try to scale up. Intentionally try to take on more people that can free you up to focus on and pursue other aspects of the business. So I know I had someone in my mentoring club who was doing his business for a long time, and I told him at a point in time, hire an intern. You know, like I don't need an intern. I can handle my clients and stuff like that. I enjoy doing the work myself. I don't trust anybody. That was the mistake I made too. I worked alone for too long, and I don't advise anybody to work alone for too long. If you start off your company alone, after your first 2 years, please take on one person. Take on one person. It doesn't matter whether you are making more money or not. A lot of people say we're not making enough money. I can't take on one person. No, take on one person as an intern. If you can't afford a staff, afford an intern. And what an intern means is that you're not paying them any steady salary. You're just giving them what you might call stipend. So you give them money for transportation, for feeding, just small things. It's very important. Then that intern, after a year or so, make the person a staff. You see, a lot of people expect more money to come, then they will scale up. No, you scale up, then more money comes. A lot of people want more money to come before they hire more people. No, you hire more people, and those people, one way or the other, their energy attracts more clients and bigger clients, and gives you the confidence to be able to charge more. So I would say if you're starting up a business, be intentional about scaling up. If you're starting up alone, first year you can do it all by yourself, but second year, bring on somebody who respects you. You might not be an established designer, but someone that can learn under you. Let the person, as you are designing the logo for a company, let the person do the business card. As you are designing the branding, let the person be doing all those small things. You understand? Let the person be typing out the invoice. Let the person be delivering the job that you go and that you print. You understand? Give them small assignments that you can scale up on. And before you know it, that small idea, that small company would have grown into a, a design studio. You understand? From there, that design studio will grow into an agency. You understand? That's how you start from those small things. So always challenge yourself to scale up. Challenge yourself to build capacity in others. Don't get into that mentality of do it myself. You understand? Don't get that mentality of the money is not enough for me. How can I be paying one person? Share that money. You understand? Share it. And in sharing it, you realize that more will come to you and your business will begin to grow. And then you realize that it gets to a time where you can focus on other things and chase other dreams while this company still continues to grow and bring in income for you. So I guess I don't know if Dan is still online. I can't see Danny online anymore, but I hope that helps answering your question. Um, I think I can take one more question from Abundance here. Abundance says, how can we gain mastery or mentorship in design? So how can you gain mastery? You gain mastery through mentorship. You understand? So you see, how can you gain mastery or mentorship? Mastery comes through mentorship. So, and that's a very good question you asked. You must learn to, which is what a lot of people don't do nowadays, whereby they learn a skill and they go straight to applying the skill. No, there's a gap between learning a skill and you understanding how to apply the skill under a master. So mentorship is very important. I feel everybody needs a mentor, and I feel the world has changed whereby mentoring has become very accessible. Unlike when I was starting out design, mentoring was very hard. I couldn't reach somebody in the US. Someone in Lagos self was hard enough to reach. You understand? Because internet was not so good, telecoms was not that good. But now we have stuff like this where you can actually reach out to somebody, and you can have people that are consciously mentoring you, which is the best. People that are unconsciously mentoring you, whereby they don't even know they're mentoring, but you're just totally looking at their space. You're going to their social media, their podcast, their YouTube channel, and you're just consuming their content. Mastery comes from learning from a master, and the act of learning from a master is called mentor. It's called mentoring. That's the act of mentorship. So you must humble yourself to learn from someone who you respect, and by doing that, you realize that your skill will begin to improve. So never learn on your own, never learn in the vacuum. Learn from someone you respect, reach out to them, send them an email, tell them you are willing, just like that Steven reached out to me. He reached out to me and said, I'm willing to work with you and work with me for a year. I was one that I just had to allow him go, you understand? I said, go and do your own thing because I realized, but he worked with me for a year. And in that year that he worked with me, he grew, he still grew incredibly, and I grew too. So he added to me, and I added to him. So I will say, mentoring comes by subjecting yourself. Mastery comes by subjecting yourself to a mentor. So it's very important to get a mentor in whatever career it is you are setting out to do. All right, so I guess those are the only questions I'll be able to take. Um, uh, all right, Danny is back. So Danny,
Yes, yes, yes. Sorry about that. My service provider just lost internet access, just like that. Sorry about that. Okay,
I totally
so
understand.
thank you very much, Daddy. Thank you. I'm very excited. I'm very happy about tonight's session, and I'm always looking forward to doing this again and again. From the very first time that I posted you on the Twitter space, I'm always looking forward to hosting you again and again. And for those of you that are not aware, Daddy here has his own pro master class too, and also has a a session. Let me call it a session where he tutors persons on logo design. So you should check out any of these. I've already told you about Spotify. I've told you about pro master class also on YouTube. So you can go on YouTube and check it out to check out masterclass, pro up masterclass, sorry, pro up masterclass on YouTube and on Spotify, and learn from him massive content and value there. All right, make sure you do that. Thank you once again, Dad, for joining us. So guys, like I said, this is the after party, and the after party is always a beautiful and a massive one. I know every one of you must have gotten something from tonight's session. I know every one of you must have gotten something. So if you have, I want you to go ahead to Instagram, Twitter. You can use the hashtag and tag me on Instagram, on Twitter, and WhatsApp, and tell everyone that we've come to the end of the 0 to 1 million graphic designers program, and put out something that you learned or something that stood out for you very well, and let other persons learn. So you can drop the link to the YouTube session, every of the YouTube session, and let persons click and come and watch too. Meanwhile, if this is your first time coming to this YouTube page, I want this YouTube channel, I want you to immediately subscribe, because there will be massive content still dropping here, massive live sessions that will be happening, so you don't miss out. Make sure you subscribe and put on the notification button so you don't miss out. If you miss any of the sessions we had before, go ahead and watch every of them here on my channel. This has been a beautiful after party session, and tonight I want to immediately say that I am projecting every one of you watching me right now, whether it is right now this live call or later on. I'm projecting you into the creative space and into the creative market. Go in and give out value, enjoy the journey, begin your journey, enjoy the process, see enjoy massive fulfillment, and reach out to lives across the globe. I am rooting for you. Apostle of Design is rooting for you big time, and I want you to know that this is just the beginning of something great and massive. Next time we'll be meeting for this program is going to be super massive, and I don't want you to miss. And I also want you to show up with your testimonies. I can't wait to start receiving your testimony. So make sure you are dropping them immediately. You begin experiencing that massive change and mindset shift. Make sure you are dropping those testimonies with me on WhatsApp. I want to hear them. I want to share that testimony with you, and I want to rejoice with you too. So welcome to the end of the 0 to 1 million graphic designers program. Go ahead and continue to do massive things. Apostle of Design is rooting for you. Also, my team here backstage, they're also rooting for you. So make sure you go ahead and continue to do great things. Meanwhile, the MDC Zen Academy will be showing up anytime soon, okay, on your screens across every social media platform. This is the batch 2. We have graduated the batch 1. The batch 2 will be coming very soon. Start preparing yourself. It's going to be something massive, and make sure you don't miss out. Tola Alabi, that just showed up in tonight's session, will also or was part of our associate professors for the first batch, and will also be showing up for the second batch. So don't miss out, because it's going to be massive. Start preparing yourself, and see you next time, next live session, and also doing the same thing, additional value. Bye, and have a wonderful evening. Bye, 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 bye. Stay liquid.